Last time on Knights of the Rolled Table, Jerik Darkharbor and Sarsa Demisalt were helping out some new allies in the realm of Popolona when they got an urgent sending stone message from Jerik's father, Arik Darkharbor. He told Jerik that someone was after him and he would leave Jerik a message in their usual spot. Jerik and Sarsa boarded Sarsa's ship, the Crescent Squall 3, and raced off to the ruins of Emberbrook.
Welcome back to Knights of the Roll Table. Welcome, everybody. Woohoo!
Yay!
Now, I'm going to have everybody quickly introduce themselves. We have some special guests joining us today. My name's Chris. First of all, I'll be your Dungeon Master for this evening. And my co-DM is going to be Matt Messerman. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome, Matt.
He will be playing several of the NPCs. And we'll just kind of go down the line here. So, Jen, you go next.
I'm Jen. I'm old news by now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Zach. You know me.
Hi, I'm Lennie. I don't know what else to say about myself.
That's fine.
Okay.
Welcome. We'll find out more about Lennie's character in a bit.
Correct.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Chanel, and you're watching Disney Channel.
All right. Perfect.
And my name is Tad. I am also here.
Right, perfect.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. We're going to get started right now. So, Jerik and Sarsa. You're following an urgent message from Jerik's father, telling you that he'd leave something for you in the usual spot. Thus, your journey has brought you back to Emberbrook, the coastal town in Marcatia, where you lived for the better part of a year and even set up a business. You haven't seen Emberbrook.
Don't be all judgy about that.
I'm just the narrator. You haven't seen Emberbrook since its destruction at the hands of the construct Kol Satori and the army of twig blights and vine blights. The Crescent Squall 3 descends within the city in an open area of the center of town. You noticed most of the buildings have sustained massive fire damage, revealing skeletal structures of what used to be a thriving marketplace. The wood is gray and ashy, but it's also covered in vines, weeds, and sort of dying nature. You also notice the charred remains of hundreds of small figures baked in place, realizing they're little twig and vine blights that simply burned with the rest of the city and are forever frozen. As the ship sets down, many of these husks blow away in ash. You see before the center square an empty stone platform where a statue should be, but there's nothing there. Beyond that, missing the top floor and most of the walls, is the husk of Wayfinder's Tavern. Your ship lands. What do you do?
Now this is just depressing.
Looks like somebody wised up and got rid of that stupid Massimo statue. That's an improvement. Anyway, set it down right here in the square, and we need to check out Wayfinders, or what's left of it.
Right. I suppose we can sort through the rubble, but your father said something about the usual place. I'm assuming you know where that is, right?
Yep.
You don't care to share it with me? I mean, Jerik, I tell you everything. Well, most things.
You do not. Just put it down and I'll show you.
Fine.
So you guys head over to the tavern, and the only thing that really remains is a couple of bases of tables, and you see the structural remnants of the bar itself. There's a couple of like melted glass bottles and just kind of bits and lots of vines growing over everything. Go ahead, both of you, and make a investigation check for me.
Can I get like advantage for looking for alcohol because I have a problem?
No.
And
Anything you get
admit it.
disadvantage for that.
All right, that's a 16.
10.
Okay. and a 10. All right, Jerik, you're more overcome with emotion, and it's hard for you to concentrate, despite your father saying like this is where you would find something that would help you find him, but you can't quite understand like what it means. But Sarsa, you remember there's alcohol in the basement. I should check down there.
I want to go to there.
Okay, so you pull up this sort of trapdoor, this metal hinge, kind of brush off aside some ash, and you head down. And then, Jerik, are you following, or are you staying up in the top and crying a little bit?
This is actually very on brand right now.
No, I'm definitely following, and I don't think so. Jerik is kind of overwhelmed because I don't think he ever mentioned to Sarsa this particular fact. But like when they found this business, this kind of like vacant business, when they had some money and they decided to invest in a bar, it wasn't random. This is actually the bar. Wayfinders was the bar that Jerik grew up in with his mom. His mom was a server. And so he spent his first like 10 years here.
From Sarsa?
Aww.
Well, it was,
and he still is.
So
luckily you don't know that.
I
so
know,
Jerik,
but I'm mad.
Jerik kind of like explains that I think.
Oh, you best explain it.
I think Jerik knows the spot that they're going to because he had kind of like a spot that he and his dad would leave things for in like an emergency. It was a spot where they could leave a message for each other or something. Yeah. So he kind of knows a spot down in the basement, and what that is kind of shares. He shares like, this was actually the bar that, I don't know if I ever mentioned that I grew up in a bar, but
that's a pretty important piece of information that you didn't tell me.
Well,
I mean, that whole flight over here, you could have said, it's at the old bar. I had the spot down below. No, you just mums the word. Don't even know you.
I mean, you know me now, and there's some things that I've left behind, but they seem like they're maybe going to be coming back right now. So now you know. So I tried to reclaim a part of my childhood, and then it almost immediately burned down. So there we go. Let's find it and figure this out, if you don't mind.
So you guys are looking around. What's in the basement is there's a couple of old wine bottles. Some of them are empty because Sarsa, and and then there's a couple of whiskey bottles. They're all empty, and there's also 3 kegs. The kegs are usually filled with mead and ale. 2 of them are the way they were. One of them is actually kind of busted open and it looks like it was charred a little bit just from heat. And then the third one, which is off to the side, is rotated upside down. So the spout is like vertically kind of on the top, which is not how you would store a keg. So that's a little bit unusual.
We probably both noticed that right away for different reasons.
Yeah,
this is true.
So we'll go over and check that out.
Yep.
Now, before we go digging around in there, is anything else, any other mystery family secrets you want to share with me? I'm still pissed off about this.
I mean, as they come up, I'll let you know. I don't know. I can answer questions. We've had time. My mom worked here, and there was an innkeeper who was kind of nice, kind of a jerk. He let us stay in rooms if we kept them clean and they were vacant. And
I don't want the boring parts. I just want things that are important.
Well, when I was, about 10, my mom got sick and she died. And this guy showed up and said, "I'm your dad, and come with me." And then that was the next 10 years of my life. We kind of went all over the place, but that was the last I had seen this place until you and I came back here and picked it up, and you know the rest of that.
Right.
But whenever my dad and I were out in the world, if there was an emergency, this was the place we would come if we ever got separated. It never happened, but our agreement was like, we'll meet up in the place if we couldn't find it. So I don't know. That's how I knew what he meant in the message. Any other questions?
No.
Why don't we just look in this thing?
Let's open the barrel. Yeah.
All right. So you notice that there's a cork, kind of in the vertical spot. Like it's instead of where you would normally put a tap, it's like the whole barrel has been rotated around. So it's a bit unusual. And you can try to pull the cork out.
Yes, please. I'll do that.
Okay. So I don't know what a cork sounded. So you pull that out, and immediately kind of attach that on a string as a little note. And it's this little parchment, and it's rolled up, and looks like it's been in there for not too long. So you read this note, and it says,
If you find this, it means I've been compromised. My adversaries in Valentrell are after information they think I might have. If they keep me alive, they'll most likely take me to the Demon Spine prison in the eastern Frostbeard Mountains. I will be tortured for that information, but I will try to endure until you can arrange rescue. There may be others looking for me as well. You'll be stronger together. Please hurry. Arik Darkharbor.
All right, well, guess we better go. This is our clue. Do you know where the Frostbeard Mountains are? They're north of here, I'm pretty sure.
at that moment, you guys both hear from above this kind of...
Do we leave the water running?
Washing machine.
You want to check that out, or should I?
Yeah, we should probably go take a look at that. All right. Well,
All right.
as it said, we'll be stronger together, so lead the way.
Okay, so you head up. You guys head up and head up to the top of Wayfinders, or the first floor, and you see pretty much, because there's no walls, in the center square right in front of the Crescent Squall 3, this round sort of portal emerging, and little sparks and energy and mystical energy and arcane light is shooting out from it, and it gets bigger and bigger to the size of about 10 feet wide, and it just goes, and you see these three shadowy figures, small at first, and they walk through, and they're sort of humanoid looking. They're just in shadow at first, but then you see three figures walking through this portal, and then behind them, the portal closes like an iris, and it shuts behind them. And you see three figures. One of them is a human male. He's got darker skin, kind of braids pulled back, tattoos kind of on the side of his face, thicker coat, and he's just kind of looking around like, I don't really, not terribly interested in being here, is sort of his expression. You also see, I'm actually going to let Lennie introduce her character.
Oh God, I'm on the spot. Okay, you see a tall, slender figure. They have a darker tone to their skin as well. They have very sandy, blondish hair and seem to be wearing a lot of animal hides on their body. They seem very non-imposing, even though their height would detect otherwise.
And if we can have Chanel introduce your character, what they look like.
Yeah, we have a 5-foot woman who is half elf, and she's got brown skin, brown curly hair. She's got really cool chainmail on, and she has a orange tint to her brown curly hair, and earrings that kind of run along the edges of her ears, of the cartilage. And she has a very cool green cloak.
Ooh.
All right, so that's who you see, and they're just kind of walking out, getting their bearings. They've just teleported in.
Right, so here we are in Emberbrook. It's seen better days.
Is this some kind of tower?
Are they in a place where they see us right away, or are we kind of hidden from them?
This female half elf who's dressed in this shimmering chainmail and this lavish velvet green cloak, kind of, looking around very like, what is this? And then she instantly locks eyes with the two of you standing there and says, oh, well, I'm not going to say what you say.
For sure.
And she sees you instantly. Just the radar went off.
Hi.
What's going on?
Are you looking for us, or are you looking for something? I'm
Sorry, bars burned down. There ain't no whiskey left.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Well, yeah. So we'll go back a little bit. So you were brought here by your friend, whose name is Jordan. He is sort of he actually found you guys and said that he was sort of contracted by a mutual associate to bring you here to find a clue, which Cookie and you know about. So That's why you're here, is to find a clue for the location of your target.
Well, seems like we're looking for a clue. What are you guys doing here?
I'm trying to get a little tipsy, but I'm afraid the stores have all burned down.
Yeah, kind of seems like that.
Really, we're in a little bit of a hurry, so really we just need to determine if we can just leave, or if y'all are friendly, or if we're gonna have to fight you. Because if we need to fight you, it's gonna have to happen kind of quick.
Cookie, what do you think if these guys is the clue?
Well, I was really hoping we'd have a better clue.
I would hope. Yeah, I was kind of hoping so too.
These guys seem real inclined to fight us. They're not inclined to be friendly at all.
That was what I got right off the bat. Yeah,
I feel like we came out here as total open-souled spirits and got met with violence.
I'd just like to point out that as of right now, neither one of us has drawn a weapon. We're just trying to figure out what's going on because, it's a little weird that there's this many people in a city that's completely burned down.
Also, she offered you a drink, which is a big for her. And so, as far as I'm concerned, this is a peace offering.
Very little alcohol left.
I ought to say that there wasn't any drink left.
Well, it was more of a hypothetical drink in that if there was a drink, she would have been offered to you. But
it's bad luck to offer an empty drink. Whoa, I don't know what accent that was. It's bad luck to offer an empty drink.
An empty glass is worse than no glass at all.
Yeah.
I really feel like we're getting caught up in the weeds here a little bit.
You know what? Realistically, Sarsa, you probably have a drink, right? Just give him a drink, and we can not avoid a fight, and let's go.
I dig down into my cleavage and pull out a flask.
See?
I normally save this one for myself only, but if you're gonna push my hand in this,
there you go. Everybody can have a little drink, and then we can go. Is this good? We good?
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't really drink too much. It's the gesture.
I like my drinks chilled.
Yeah, this is definitely warm whiskey, she said, taking a glug.
I'll pass.
So, what kind of a clue are you looking for?
And we don't really know.
We did used to run this establishment, so, we might be a wee bite helpful if it's something in particular in the city. Jerik here knows this place better than anyone.
Did you say Jerik?
Oh, no.
No.
Nice try.
Yeah, look, I'm Jerik Darkharbor, and
all right, these are the ones.
Okay.
Oh,
these are the ones you've talked to them. Clearly, we're all on the same mission to rescue Mr. Arik. Talk to them.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Well, that's a much better option than I was thinking originally. You guys are after Arik?
Yeah. Kinda. But yeah.
That wasn't cryptic at all.
And you know him how?
I don't think we's allowed to say.
No.
Okay, that sounds fairly right for him. Listen, I don't. We got this airship over here. It's a Crescent Squall 3. Don't ask about 1 and 2. She's kind of a sore subject. But if you all want to get on right now, we're headed towards the Frostbeard Mountains. That's where we think he is. So if you're willing to help, please. But we can't wait around any longer. We can talk in the air.
We won't need to do that. I owe Mr. Arik a favor, and y'all just come with me. And he pulls out this
Nice.
big, bulbous, purple berry.
Oh, God.
That could have gone in a whole different direction.
This isn't for eating. And he pauses for a second and sort of screws up his face in concentration and throws it at the ground.
And when he does that, you see a small spark hit the ground and it starts to grow. And this similar portal from what you saw before grows in size to about 10 feet and starts spinning around. And through it is just almost like a window. You see this mountain top that's crunchy snow and clouds in the background and similar mountain peaks. It's as if it's right there in this giant round painting, but it's standing or it's kind of right next to Jordan and these two new half-elves that you've just met.
I didn't publicly come out saying I was a half-elf.
Well, they can kind of tell.
It was a secret.
Is that the Frostbeard Mountains?
Oh, right. It is. Let's go.
All right. Well, can I maybe roll an insight check just on the general trustworthiness of this crew I'm about to step through a portal with?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
14.
Jarek.
And are they trustworthy?
14. From what you can tell, they seem like they are on the mission that they've said they are, and they seem you can't really tell if you can trust them so much as they seem intent on doing what you're doing, and you're heading in the same direction is what you can kind of tell. Like they're going to go, and they don't really care. They don't seem to care if you come or not.
Jerik, just a little point of caution. We go through their thing, and our ship is left here. Are we going to be able to get back?
I don't know for sure, but I mean, we can lock down the ship, and this is the fastest way. I think I have to go try to find him this way.
Jordan kind of overhears that, and he steps up and
Look, I'll get you back. But I'm going through, leaving in 3 hours, with or without you. So let's go.
Oh, 3 hours? Right.
Yeah, what's 3 hours?
And then Jordan just steps through the portal.
Right. Let's lock down the ship, and I'll go when you roll.
yeah, bloop bloop. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarsa taps on a little button that she has, and it
There's
kind
a
of this little shimmer goes over the Crescent Squall, and it looks like this has this little barbed purple energy to it from the night crystals that are emanating.
A glowing red bar
no, it's
appears.
purple.
No, a glowing red bar appears over the ship's wheel and stretches out.
Gotcha. Yes. It's a magical club. Uh-huh. Okay. So what do the rest of you do? You have this portal.
I go through.
Jerik walks through.
I go through.
Sarsa walks through.
Cookie looks down at Wilma.
Wilma gives 2 finger guns and then walks through.
Nice.
Cookie follows.
Cookie follows. And then immediately after Cookie goes through, closes, and suddenly you are on crunchy snow-covered mountain peak. As you look down around you, there are other small mountains and clouds cresting the edge. You're so high up, the air is suddenly thinner, and it takes you a second for your head to adjust to the sudden climate change.
It is
Because of this,
so cold.
and it's very cold. And Sarsa, you didn't bring a coat, and you're kind of, a lot of your skin is exposed. Cookie, you're not really wearing even a shirt, but I'd say you have a tougher exterior So you're not really bothered by it. In face, the bracing cold is kind of nice, but it's probably not smart to stay out here for too much longer. So I would like all of you guys to make a perception check. The four of you.
2. 1 plus
18.
1.
18. Okay.
18?
18 as well.
Wait, hold on.
What are you guys looking
I gotta
at?
do the math. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay. So let's see. Cookie, Wilma, and Sarsa. Jerik is suddenly very cold. He kind of looks at Jordan, and Jordan is starting to sort of push away some of the snow, and he's kind of chanting something to himself, and you see some arcane energy kind of coming from his hands. At the same time, Cookie, Wilma, and Sarsa see in the distance, at the peak of this mountain, about 100 yards ahead of you, are these two large horns carved from rock pointing up into the sky. Next to the left horn, I'm going to say, Sarsa, you see this because you have particularly good perception. Fallen in the snow, you see a crumpled shape. It's just a dark shape against white background. At the same time, Jordan is sort of casting a spell of some kind, and this faint, glimmering dome appears right in front of him.
I'm going to point out by the horn. Hey, I think I see something over there. I'm not sure if it's a person or what, but there's something by that horn.
Right, remember 3 hours, and then Jordan steps into the...
Jordan steps into this arcane dome that has this kind of shimmering pink energy and vanishes. It's almost like he's not there anymore. But you've heard of such spells that kind of create like a little dome or a hut, of mystical energy. So he's still here, but you get the sense that he's just protecting himself. And he gave you a 3-hour timer.
Is he like just gonna hang out in there, or what's the deal with Jordan?
He's just gonna hang out. Well, you could ask him, but
Well, I'm saying that to Wilma and
Everyone?
Cookie. Like, what's his deal? He's just gonna chill in there while you two do the dirty work, or how's this whole situation work?
Yeah, I wasn't hired to fight. I'm just here to chauffeur. Let's go.
You heard it.
Okay,
from
got it. Thank you.
Dome. You get the sense that Jordan is kind of repaying a favor, and fighting and going in was not part of the deal. He is a sort of wizard transport for hire sort of guy. So
2 hours, 59 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Let's head to that horn. Cookie, Wilma, if you don't mind me asking, like, what's your deal? Why are you here? Do you owe Arik a favor, or?
Oh, now you want people to talk about their feelings, but when it comes to you, you don't share nothing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mention it. It didn't seem relevant. All right.
So as you're heading towards the horn, you guys can have this. You guys can have this conversation. Crunch, crunch, crunch. You're stepping in the snow.
Yeah, but real talk, what's your deal?
Yeah, I guess you could say we work with the guy.
So crime. You do crime? Are we talking about crime? You seem dodgy.
I use a different word.
What is that word?
Nosy these guys are.
It's not becoming of you. I would just say we do a little town work. If you catch my drift.
Is that crime? It sounds like crime.
It's positive crime.
Oh, okay.
Wilma,
Well-
Do you catch that?
if they're not fans of our business, I will go full bear on them.
No, hey,
No,
I do
you
crime.
don't want full bear.
Jared,
Go
you
full bear
don't
on
want
them.
full
Come
bear.
over.
I'll do
Jared
it.
does crime, but he doesn't do it very well. This man has the most ridiculous sense of morality I've ever seen in my life.
Jerik, from the brief kind of recent dealings with your father when he briefly visited, and from just some of the things he said, that he has this new business kind of established in Valentrell, in the realm of Valkara, and he hasn't ever really told you what he does, but he seems to be doing things for the right reasons, and some of them sounded a little shady, but also some things sounded like on the up and up. So you get the sense that these guys sort of help him with that. They're not straight up criminals, but they're sort of like working for him, if that makes sense. You get the sense that these are the kind of guys that he would work with.
So yeah, positive crime.
Yeah. Positive crime.
All right. Well, if we get into trouble, which is probably pretty guaranteed if we're going to break somebody out of a dungeon or whatnot.
That sounds pretty positive.
How do we, what can you do? How do we have each other's
I can't
back?
tell you my whole skill set.
All right.
Just as you're saying that and asking that, you guys reach this shape, and within about 10 feet, you notice on the snow-covered floor next to this giant, about 30-foot tall stone horn is the body of a deep gnome. And he's definitely like a smaller figure. He's got gray, ashy skin, sort of white sideburns. He's got this sort of a loose canvas armor, not the best quality. It looks like kind of what a prison guard would be wearing. And he is in the snow. You can see his chest breathing up and down, barely alive.
I'm going to kick him.
Okay.
Just wake him up. I'm not trying to really hurt him, but just
the cleric kicks the gnome.
The equivalent of is it dead yet?
Oh, sure. Okay. As you kick him, you hear this little...
You don't look so good down there, boyo.
I don't think your kick helped.
What do you guys want from me?
Are there signs of what happened? He looks like a guard. Is there signs of a scuffle, or did he get ambushed?
He's covered in some dirt. He's got some snow on him, obviously, and he's got a little bit of blood spatter on his coat. It doesn't look like he has been hurt, but he definitely has some sort of blood or gore on him. And he looks terrified at first. He looks at you a bit shocked, backing up a little bit and realizing that you are normal-looking people, and he pauses for a sec.
Who are you? What do you want?
We're looking for Demon Spire. I imagine it's nearby.
It is. It is near. I made it out.
You made it out? You were on your way out?
I made it out.
Congratulations. Do you mind if we, can you tell us a little bit about what's in there? And then, we can help you on your way.
Do you have any food or a drink or?
No, answer our questions.
She's definitely got a drink.
Wait, I have a snack.
Snacks are for people who give us worthwhile information.
Have you ever thought about being nice?
Really good question, Wilma. You're so smart.
You haven't even told me who you are yet.
This is me being nice.
He looks very weak and about to faint again.
Wilma is going to take out a small piece of bread that she has. She always has snacks on her. And she gives it to small man in ground.
Small man. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check, Wilma.
Cool. 14.
14. Yeah.
All right.
He looks like he's got some color back into him.
All right. Here's what you need to know. You don't want to go into there.
Check.
There was a monster got loose in the prison.
Oh, great.
Killed so many the guards and killed a lot of prisoners too.
Okay. This sounds like a pros and cons situation.
Got
There's
out.
a prisoner in there that looked a little bit like this fine fella right here.
I kind of smile a little bit, hold my head up. Huh?
He kind of looks at you, his head sort of cocked like a dog,
Well,
and there's a glint of recognition.
A little more facial hair.
What was
Older, way older.
Probably
was
a little bit better facial symmetry, I'd say.
Hey,
what was his name?
Arik.
Darkharbor prisoner.
Yeah. Is he in there? Is he okay?
He was brought in about how long have I been out? He was brought in about 2 days ago with a old human and one of those scaly dragonborns. If he's still alive, he'll be in solitary on the tailbone.
How do we get inside?
Well, seeing as somebody decided to feed me, I'll tell you.
You're welcome. And she winks.
And from his jacket, he pulls out this parchment that's kind of rolled up and hands it to Wilma. Wilma, you open it up.
So you can see the front entrance right here. That's probably not the best way to go. Last time when I left, the last place I saw the monster was right up near the top floors.
A monster?
What kind of monster are we talking about?
Big one.
Okay. Thank you.
Scary. A lot of
Thank
blood.
you for your riveting description.
So
we'll
you're saying
just
that-
sort that out on our own.
Saying that Daddy Darkharbor is going to be down here towards these lower levels.
Could we possibly not call him that, if that's at all?
I like that name, Daddy
Okay.
Darkharbor.
All right.
If Wilma
shouldn't
likes it, I like it.
I shouldn't have mentioned it. All right. Fine.
Right. Down, and he points at the. God, what would that be? The last one, the bottom one, there, and says, "Yeah, it's the tailbone right there."
But
All
you
right.
looking at this map, it don't look like there's any way. Is there a way to get to there from the ground level?
So as he points, you notice that there's a dripping of snow gets on the map and it starts to bleed in. But as it does that, you see lines show up around the exterior of some of these levels, just a little teeny bit.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take out my chest liquor and
Sorry, what?
you
You
heard
heard
me.
That's canon now. Chest liquor.
And like wet the page a little bit.
Sarsa pulls out her vial of liquor and pours it on, and you see these lines show up, which seem to show a tunnel system that resembles what probably is a sewer, leading to the right side of the mountain, which looks like a pretty steep cliff, and is leading up to some of these levels and some of the rooms on the left side of the map of each level. There's about 6 levels in total. They get smaller as they get further down, with stairs in between. And the other thing you see on the map is each level has a hole in the middle of the central platform surrounded by these cells. But yeah, these lines are revealed. And as Sarsa does this, she is also breathing pretty heavily. And as your warm breath hits the page, some other lines show up, just faintly.
This is a very intense map.
I mean, wouldn't it have been easier to just put everything on the map and have it show up?
Oh,
Well, the
no,
warden,
this is way cooler.
the warden doesn't want everyone to know he has secrets.
Right. Well, I suppose
Hold up something hot to it. Don't burn it.
The lines start to fade a little bit.
We could all just breathe on it.
Everybody get together and breathe.
this is like
Everybody leans in over the paper and just takes a nice breath, like.
this is like
And as you do that, and combined with
There's a lot.
as you do that, and combined with the moisture that's already on the page, you see lines on the left side leading to what looks like an exhaust pipe behind where you are. And sure enough, you all turn around And about 100 yards in the other direction, you see a small little plume of exhaust, like smoke, coming out of the mountain where it doesn't make sense where that would happen.
All right, well, it seems like we've got the front door, monster door, we've got the cold, wet sewer line, and we've got the hot, steamy exhaust port. Anybody have a preference?
Voting for that exhaust port because I am freaking freezing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Plus, I don't feel like climbing down a cliff if I can help it.
All right, well, let's give it a try. Thanks, friend. And I'll put my hand on the deep gnome and lay on hands, heal him for 2 HP.
Oh, thank you very much.
Feels nice.
Name's Grumgadil. It's a pleasure.
Thanks, Grunkdill. We appreciate your help.
It's nice meeting ya.
I can kind of gesture down to roughly where Jordan was and say, if you just wait right down there, we might be able to pick you up later if you, if we survive. So you might have to roll the dice on that one. I'm just letting you know.
Haha! Looks to camera.
And Grim Gadil sort of nods in his appreciation, but then sort of stands back up and goes inside of the doorway of the horn and sort of seems like he's just going to shelter right there as he eats the rest of the bread that Wilma gave him. So,
Bless you.
Thanks again for the bread.
no.
You're
And he
welcome,
starts eating.
sweetheart.
So you guys are going to head towards the exhaust port.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you backtrack about 200 yards. It takes a little bit of time, a couple minutes. And you find this vent, essentially, that's about 6 feet wide. It's pretty big, covered by a metal grate, and steam is kind of coming out of it. It comes in little patches. It's not like burning hot steam. It's normal, room temperature air, but in the freezing cold atmosphere, it's causing a lot of the steam to show up. So you get the sense that if you went down inside of this, it wouldn't burn you, but it would be warmer for sure. But it is a vertical drop.
Does anybody have a good way to get down there without, plummeting to our death?
I guess I could shapeshift. I didn't mention that before.
Okay, that does sound relevant. Appreciate that. That sounds useful. I think I have a grappling hook in here. I can maybe hook it down and go until the rope runs out, depending on how deep it is. Some of us could climb down. Any other ideas?
I've got some rope as well, so we could tie the rope together, maybe get a little bit further down. According to this map, it looks like we could at least get down to that second level. It looks like there's a vent. I don't know quite how far down that is, but I don't think it's reasonable to expect us to make it all the way down in this vent shaft.
Sarsa, you actually feel a little poke at your hip, and you look down, and you see that your rope has animated itself, and it kind of is poking you like poke, 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 and it looks up. It kind of twists up at you as if to look at you like, hey, did you forget about me?
I most assuredly did.
It's kind of like a little bird, like twitch, twitch, twitch. Like, did you need a rope? Like it's sort of burp, burp, burp. And you remember you have this rope of climbing.
That's right. Sorry, my buzz is finally wearing off. I do have a rope of climbing. That is a thing that I have that I am 100% aware of. And I know exactly what it does. I think it'd be really helpful for us right now.
It's about 100 feet. It wouldn't. So it would get you a portion of the way what looks like down there based on scale and everything. So combined with Jerik's grappling hook, you could probably get down to that last level. The 5th level down, or at least to the rooms next to the 5th level down, if you wanted to, if you combined your two ropes.
We want to do that. This is Coach's magic rope that he had and gave to Sarsa, so it can untie itself.
Gave it to you.
Okay.
Yes, I want to go to there.
Is there a
to
good
find
place
the
to secure something to up there?
The grappling hook can be secured to the metal railing of the vent, so it's pretty secure.
All right. Well, we'll do that, and we'll tie the rope to the other end of the grappling hook. And
So, what's the order of descent here? Who's going first?
I'll go first because I have dark vision.
I also have dark vision now. So
I also have dark vision. I'm just kidding. I don't have dark vision.
You do actually.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
have
kidding.
one.
So I also have dark vision.
And I do as
all
well.
I had to do was almost turn into a snake.
Yep.
All right. We have dark vision. Let's go down, everybody.
Wilma, go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Oh, man. 23.
Nice. So, your instincts that at least Cookie knows about, you start sniffing this steam that's coming up, and you get a scent that there is definitely blood, in the air. This kind of iron taste of blood that you sniff, and you also sense something otherworldly, something that is not fauna. It's not an animal per se. It's something that unnatural from this world that's coming up with the steam. It's very faint, but only you can really smell that, and especially with that roll, it's hitting you like almost like a warning trigger.
Wait a second. Do you guys smell that?
Jerik, what you eat for lunch?
It was a long trip over. We came from a arid. It was a Mediterranean type of location. I'm sorry, I didn't get a shower.
Doesn't do well when he has the fat of cheese.
There was a whole flood recently. It's a long story.
It's not that.
It's
One step away.
not that. I think there's something that seems really scary and, otherworldly.
Like a monster that kills a bunch of prisoners and guards, kind of otherworldly, or
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about I go first?
You have dark vision?
Yeah, it's new. Listen, I gotta go. If you're not coming, that's fine. And I head down the
I
road.
will also go, but I'm telling you what I smell.
Sarsa
All right.
runs and follows Jerik.
You've noticed that humans that you've dealt with before, including your employer, humans don't normally have dark vision, so this is definitely unusual. And I'm going to have you go ahead and make an insight check, Wilma.
Okay. Oh, nice. 21.
Nice, yeah. So you know he's telling the truth. He's definitely genuine. Like, he has dark vision. You're not quite sure how he has dark vision, but he's not lying.
She will briefly sniff him.
Okay.
She is
I'm just going to say,
suspicious.
yeah. So I'm going to say with your abilities, you smell a human with a very, very faint reptilian scent.
Got it.
Very faint.
Is she
Okay.
is she casually sniffing me, or am I definitely noticing her sniffing me?
You probably would notice as I've already finished making my assessment. Oh, that just happened, but okay.
She's kind of doing this almost like
allow
dance
it.
move, like neck bob, like kind of neck weave, like kind of almost like a cat.
Do I
kind of-
know
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I'm a glare.
Sarsa gives you a glare. All right, so you heading down?
Glad we made
Yeah.
this all awkward. I'm going first.
I'm gonna
I head down
All right.
the rope.
and I'm gonna
All right.
glare for a little longer before I pop out.
Hey everybody, you've heard us talk about our host site, The Geekly Grind, before. Well, now there's even more to geek out about. The Geekly Grind just celebrated its 5th anniversary, and to commemorate this milestone, we're proud to announce the Geekly Grind Podcast Network. Right now, the network features 3 geek-centric podcasts. Blake and Spencer Get Jumped, featuring weekly episodes about anime and manga from Viz and Funimation. Comic Book Keepers, where myself and my friend Lance talk about one comic book hero, villain, or team, one issue at a time. And Knights of the Roll Table, a funny and family-friendly D&D role-playing adventure with original homebrew settings, the podcast you're listening to right now. We're also on the lookout for other geek-centric podcasts, so if you know one, or make one, be sure to tweet us at The Geekly Grind and let us know about it. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for geeking out. Hey everybody, this is Chris again, and I just want to say I'm super excited to have you guys finally hear this one shot that we recorded a couple weeks ago with our special guests, Lennie and Chanel and Zach's dad, Tadstones. So we are doing this in 2 parts. We have this first part and next episode that we'll post in 2 weeks will be part 2. And then after that, we will be posting a special Halloween episode at some point. I think the following 2 weeks, maybe. Stay tuned for a Halloween episode at some point in the future. And then we will actually have a recording about the Ancestry and Culture one-shot where we're going to kind of go through how to create a character using that, a supplement that's come out that we really like, and we're going to be talking about that and doing a bit more of a how-to episode discussing that. And then finally, after that, around the beginning of November, we will be starting Season 4. And Season 4 will be DM'd by our very own Jeff Frank, a.k.a. XX Bloody Heart. It's going to be a good time. We just recorded the first episode the other night, and it is a lot of fun. New characters from a couple of us. You'll just have to wait and see who makes the cut. So it'll be really interesting. We really thank everybody for listening to the show. And we know that this podcast and, listening to tabletop role-playing games is not the most important thing in the world right now. There's a lot of crazy, scary things going on. There's a lot of stuff that hits home. You might have people that have been sick or out of a job. Maybe you're out of a job. And if we bring you just a tiny minute of happiness in the year or the month, that's why we do it. And we're doing it because it makes us feel happy, and we hope it makes you feel happy too. And the best way that you can support us is by going on to Apple Podcasts, going on to Spotify, going on to Google Podcasts, and leaving a rating and review. We really, really would appreciate that. It helps other people find out about the show. A 5-star review goes a long way. Letting us know what you think, letting us know what characters you like, letting us know what kind of adventures you want to hear more of. Let us know what season that you like. I'm partial myself to season 2, but everybody has their own favorite. So just let us know what you think, and if you like it or if you don't like it, we'll take everything. But thank you guys again for listening, and once again, stay safe and make life an adventure. All right, so you head down. Jerik goes first. Sarsa goes second. Who's going third?
I can go third.
All right. Wilma goes third. Cookie follows up. Drop down. You slowly descend down into this exhaust port. The heat is welcoming. As you're getting further down, all of you actually pick up on this scent that Wilma was describing. It's a little bit weird. I mean, it definitely, there's a stench of almost like a gym locker at first, and you're like, yeah, prison. Makes sense. But then there's something else that's sort of hitting the air that's like, oh, that's not good. And some of you have sort of smelled this kind of thing before in battle, and it's definitely not a great smell. But as you're getting closer towards the bottom of the vertical shaft, you're sensing this more and more, and the steam is helping to carry it. You reach down to the last level, and it sort of plateaus out, and it heads horizontally the exhaust tunnel. It's just tall enough where if you crouch down a little bit, you guys can kind of walk, in a crouched position, but you can't stand up fully. And you have to walk forward about 50 feet before you see another vent that is... you walk forward about 50 feet and you see what looks like just an open door. It's like an open hole going into some sort of lit up area.
So
are we on like a ground level now, or are we still hanging from a rope?
You're off the rope,
Right.
and then you head about 50 feet in, and then if you want, do you want to go into this room?
We'd want to retrieve magic rope because she can do that, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you can call back the rope. The rope lowers, kind of jumps on your hip and coils up, and it sort of, like a cat sort of rubs against you and is like, thank you.
Wait, can I use that thing that lets me say into another room?
Yes.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know what it's called. I'm running through all the little thingamabobs right now.
Do you remember? That's one of your Eldritch invocations, right?
I think
Do you remember
so.
what that is, Matt?
Ghostly gaze.
Ghostly gaze. Okay, thank you.
Yay.
Can you read?
It's
Can you read that out for
I
us?
can. Prerequisite, 7th level. As an action, you gain the ability to see through solid objects at a range of 30 feet. Within that range, you have dark vision, so if you don't already have it. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. This special sight lasts for 1 minute or until your concentration ends, as if you were concentrating on a spell. During that time, you perceive objects as ghostly, transparent images. Once you use this invocation, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest.
I'll just say that you don't. You can smell that. There's nobody in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no people. You would be able to smell them.
Okay.
And you get the sense that there is a little bit of light coming from that, so you can kind of see like that's probably safe.
Okay.
But you can let them know or not let them know if you want.
I'll let them know. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to go in.
We go to there.
Okay,
Yes.
so you all head in. Jerik goes in first. You all exit out of this hole, and as Cookie, who's the last one, goes through, as each one of you go through this hole, you feel this kind of almost like a suction on your body. It's like, and you kind of, it kind of pops out. And as you turn around, Cookie sort of notices this sort of shimmer goes over the hole, and it's not a hole anymore. It's a wall.
So you tricked us.
What?
I think we've been tricked.
I don't like that. I don't like that at
I
all.
didn't say that in character. I'm so sorry. That was out of character.
Oh.
That was
I
Chris
tricked you, like the DM tricked
you.
you. Wait, are my characters talking to me? Is this
Yeah.
Stranger Than Fiction? Are you Will Ferrell?
We want union rights.
I got you some flowers.
Well, it seems like it's a wall.
I go back and kind of like poke that to see if it's like an illusion or what's going on with it.
Pretty hard stone.
I guess we're going forward.
That stinks.
Jerik, make an intelligence check.
Oh no, why bother? 8.
What the heck? We'll just try it.
8.
Stone's hard, but there's there's something else that tells you, well, this is a prison, so they probably use magic to let things in, or let things in but not let things out. You don't know exactly how that works, but you get the sense that, like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll probably, now that we're like 6 levels down, I probably share like, so it occurs to me that it might be a lot easier getting into this place than it will be getting out.
Oh, you think so? You think so, Jerik? With the wall that just came out of nowhere behind us.
Well, improvise.
Aside from a single torch on the wall, the room is pretty dark, but all of you have dark vision, so it's not an issue. The only thing that's really in the room is a series of shelves, and there are boxes. And they're all labeled with numbers and letters, and they are as such. You see some of them have the prefix RC, some of them have TB, some of them have BS, no jokes please. Some of them have N, S, and L. So RC, TB, BS, N, S, and L. And there's also numbers ranging anywhere from 1 through 15 next to the letters. And they're like little boxes, like about 5 inches by like 15 inches deep on each shelf.
RCBS TL.
No TL.
TB.
There's TB, BS, N, S, and L. So 6.
All right. Well, we got some boxes with some letters on them. This clearly contains RC, maybe rat cubes, and TB here. Maybe this has terrible brains and
If you had to
bear
assign
snacks in this
a
one.
number to how smart you are, what would you say that number is?
You know what? I got a lot of charisma, is what you need to know. So don't you worry about it.
I'm gonna open the
He
S.
worries.
Okay, you're going to look at S and then pick a number 1 through 15. Or roll a die. Roll a d20.
You want me to
There you
roll
go.
a d20?
What the heck?
Okay. That's a 3.
Great. So you pick S3. You notice in S3, there's a pocket watch. There's a small dagger that looks like the hilt is broken. And there's also a picture of an old lady holding a cat.
I take all of them.
All right. Pocket the dagger. Mark, dagger, pocket watch, and old lady with cat picture in your inventory.
Done.
Anybody else want to look at?
Wilma will look at BS 11.
BS 11.
Yes.
So in that one, you find a couple of gold coins
Nice.
and like 5 gold coins.
Oh.
And you also find a parchment which seems to have a couple of notes of like names on it. Some of them are scratched off. Yeah, and that's it.
Nice.
You can add 5 gold coins to your inventory if you want. I would like all of you to make a wisdom check.
Uh-oh.
Just a check, not a save, right?
A general wisdom check, yeah.
17.
It's very good.
Oh, nice. 19.
Nice. Cookie, what'd you get?
Oh gosh, here I was smack talking someone else's wisdom. Oh, good, mine's not garbage.
Hey,
Actually, I think you were smack talking his intelligence.
His intelligence.
my wisdom is also bad, but not as much as my intelligence.
So I was right. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I got an 18, so
Okay. So, a couple of you remember, we have that map. And some of these might refer to, some of these little letters might refer to things on the map. And it is a prison. And these are things that might belong to people. You also remember Gremgadil mentioning that Arik was on the bottom level.
Did he give a name for that? He said solitary. So,
On the map, the bottom level is labeled as the tailbone.
Solitary on tailbone.
oh, T. And
TB.
T. I want to go through the T's. Give me all the.
The TBs.
TB, yeah.
Yeah.
It's TB. There are only 6 numbers for TB. 3 of them are empty. One of them has a large black claw.
I want it.
That's it. You have it. It's a large, I'd say about 6-inch large claw.
Back scratcher.
And in TB3, you find a dark cloak, shimmering purple and black,
Jerik can have that.
There is a crossbow and a rapier. It's a larger box, but it has these 3 items in it.
I think he's in TV3, you all. We got to get there. I take all those things.
Did you see my cloth?
All right.
It's super cool.
Right?
Why don't you leave the pack?
All right. So you want to head out, or do you want to keep looking at people's boxes that you don't own? You don't own.
No, let's keep going.
You know, some of those people are bad, so in the interest of positive crime, we might need to just have a look.
You
Put
could
them
spend a
back?
bunch of time just going through boxes of criminals if you wanted to.
I encourage them to go to
Are we able to
TV3.
deduce how much time has passed?
You notice, that about 45 minutes has passed.
Okay.
So you have about a little over 2 hours left. All right, so you head out the door, which is the storage room on the lumbar, which is L, and it exits on top of into a circular chamber. You're standing on top of what looks like cells, and it's sort of like if you come out of this door and you're on the ceiling, the roof of the cells. And you see in the central area, this round area, it has a hole that kind of lowers down, and there's also a stairway on the far end, which you can just walk around the outside perimeter of this kind of ceiling area, and make your way to the stairs if you want.
I want.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jerik heads towards the stairs.
Do you not want
everybody
us to split up? Like in game, we
you
probably
do not want to
should
split up.
I was asking you. Do you not want us to?
We probably shouldn't.
That's up to you. It's generally not a great idea.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking, and I figured we should all probably go together up the stairs.
There's kind of a running meme of don't split the party.
Don't split.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool,
you can do what you
then-
want. That's,
Do whatever you want.
Wilma will also go up the stairs to not split the group up. She
Okay, so
also
you're gonna
thinks it's a bad idea because she
You're gonna
still
follow-
smells the smell.
For sure. Yeah, you still smell. Now, as you get into this central area, and you can see through these holes in the floor because there's a level above you and you can kind of see up. As you're in this area, Wilma, you notice the smell hits you again, and particularly that otherworldly smell is coming from above you and quite a distance away. And as you all enter this main level on the map, which is marked as the lumbar floor, you hear several floors above you. You hear this screams and bangs and metal falling down and things like that. Swords clashing, people screaming, men that kind of have these long moans and everything like that. So whatever's happening, and that smell that you smell, Wilma, is happening quite a ways above you.
Do you remember that smell I smelled earlier? I know, but I just want to make sure everyone else knows that we're getting closer to the smell. I don't want to be a backseat Nancy, but, that smell.
All right. So you all head towards the stairs, and are you going up or down?
We're going down. We think he's on the tailbone is bottom floor, right?
Correct.
All right, we go down. Away from scary monster noises.
All right. All right. as you're heading around that outside area, you notice that there are several bodies of deep gnome guards lying strewn across the floor. Some of them seem like they might be unconscious because they're kind of groaning around, and others are just ripped apart. And in the cells, as you're kind of making your way around the perimeter, you notice a few humanoid shapes in the dark in the back. They're cowering in fear. A few of them seem to not be moving or just not in their cells altogether. Occasionally, you'll see a cell door covered in some sort of muck or ooze or something like that maybe a prisoner got a little too close to the bars. You finally get to the stairway, and there is a gate that is in front of it. So it is a gate that kind of leads into the stairway.
So it looks like the guards are all deep gnomes, and so Grimgadil, he said he escaped, but it looks like he was a guard that escaped the monster as opposed to a prisoner that escaped the
Correct.
prison.
That's what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying.
The guards on the floor are wearing similar things that Grimgadil was wearing.
So I'm going to use my Eldritch Invocation Mask of Many Faces, and I'm going to make myself look like, it's basically like unlimited disguise selves. I'm going to make myself look like Grimgadil.
Okay. Yeah, you see Jerik's form, the three of you, shift a little bit, and suddenly he becomes a little bit shorter. Not as short as a deep gnome, but definitely deep gnome in appearance.
I'll hunch.
He's a tall deep gnome. He's like a very taller gnome. And he suddenly becomes gray and wears this sort of prison attire. But you hear Jerik's voice.
Hey, it's me.
Out of this deep gnome body.
It's not
so
exactly an improvement.
So you approach the gate, and what do you do?
There's nobody like that looks conscious or anything around this gate?
Not around the gate, no.
Wilma will send her frog familiar in. She
Okay.
has him hidden in a secret pocket in her cloak.
Like a little pouch on the side?
Yeah, it's on the inside. His name is Juju, and he's gonna just hop in and just take a look around. And I have an ability that lets us talk to each other, so she's gonna use that.
Sure. Okay. So, Juju?
Yeah, Juju.
All right, so Juju hops through the gate. It's kind of like a barred gate that leads into the stairwell. And you guys see Wilma kneel down, and this ethereal kind of misty frog kind of pops up. She's like, "Hey, Juju," and then it kind of hops through the gate, and it starts hopping down the stairs. And what you get the sense is that this the stairway is leading down. Doesn't seem like anything, at least, is in the stairway, so it seems safe. The stairway seems safe, at least.
I want to search one of the guards' bodies, any of the guards' bodies, for keys.
Okay, so you leap down into the central area. Make an investigation check.
9.
9.
You're calling for a lot
you-
of intelligence checks today, Chris.
I mean, that's what you want to do. So with a 9, it takes you about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You're like, oh, like that. And you kind of get distracted a little bit. And you guys see Jerik like looking around the bodies, and you're like, what's going on? Eventually, after about 15 minutes, you find one of them has a key in a pocket that you have to sort of lift up this dead gnome who has no nose. It's just been scraped off. And he's dead. And you find a key, and you're like, hey, it's a key.
I got a key.
You unlock the gate, and the gate opens. The little ethereal frog hops back up to Wilma.
Right, so we're going in. Don't worry, Daddy Darkharbor, we're coming for you.
Okay, so you head down towards the tailbone, into the tailbone of the Demon Spine prison. And you notice that as you're heading towards the tailbone of the Demon Spine prison, you notice that the bottom floor is set up slightly different than previous floors. The cells are still arranged in that circular pattern, but there's only 6 of them. And these old metal doors are on the floor, opening up to each cell below. So instead of doors in front of the cells, the doors are above, so it's sort of like a pit. And then there is a walkway around the outer perimeter, and then you see pacing around this this perimeter is a male humanoid with kind of a reddish tint. He's got pointy ears, black sideburns, and goblin-esque features and heavy armor, and he's carrying a large sword. And some of you recognize this as a hobgoblin. And he's just pacing around.
He's in a cell?
He is walking around the outer perimeter as you see this from the stairway.
Jerik, you want to try and talk your way out of this, or?
Stay back here. I got this. And I'll go out.
Are you sure you got it, or do you want me to try?
It's like, I mean, realistically, I probably don't have it, so be ready to do whatever you do, but just, like, give me a couple minutes.
All right, so you open the gate, which is actually open. It's not locked. As soon as you do that, you see this hobgoblin stop and turn his head very quickly and raise up his sword. And he goes,
"Who are you?"
I'm from the lumbar that things are crazy upstairs, and they said to evacuate all the prisoners and bring them out to the top level because the security's been compromised. We gotta go. It's the red alert, code D11.
I don't know that code.
It's red alert because there's a monster, and then we gotta evacuate everybody.
Make a deception check. With advantage because you look like a guard.
Yay. 19.
Mm-hmm. He says, I'm not going to let him out, but I'm going to go up and check it out myself.
All right, be my guest. There's a lot of dead deep gnomes up there, but like you do you.
I've been down here since the prisoner was brought down here, and it's my job to make sure that this guy doesn't leave. And if I go up there and find that there's not a big threat, I'm going to come back down here and deal with you myself. Do we understand each other?
Yes. Good talking to you.
And he looks up at the hole that's above that's leading to the floor above. And you see him kind of pull out this little side pouch, and he pulls out what looks like a tiny crossbow and shoots it up.
Oops.
And it's a little grappling hook, and he just kind of goes up right through the hole.
Dude, he's Batman.
and he's out of sight.
I'm gonna run.
That might take him a lot less time to get back here than I was anticipating. Come on, we gotta go.
I'm genuinely shocked you didn't mess anything up.
Hey, appreciate you.
Me too, right?
Roll a high deception check.
Impressive.
All right, so
Charisma.
you guys make your way in, and you have 6 cells below you. What do you want to do?
Are they labeled in any way? Because the box was TB3.
They are not labeled.
All right. Well, I go looking for the third one.
Okay.
From the left.
You kind of start on the left. Okay. You start from the left. You go 1, 2, 3. And on the cell to the left of that, you hear a voice.
Jerik? Is that you? Jerik!
Hey, hi. You called, and we're here.
Hi, Daddy Darkharbor.
There's. I brought friends.
Daddy Darkharbor. Is that what you call me now, Jerik?
It's hard to see, but what you see is one of the deep gnome guards that has been treating you rough the past couple of days. And but you hear the voice of your son, which is very confusing, but kind of makes sense.
I forgot that I was a deep gnome. As Jerik, I forgot that I was a deep gnome, so I'll drop the disguise. Hey, Dad, it's me and Sarsa. And yeah, she calls you Daddy Darkharbor, which makes me really uncomfortable. But are there?
That's all right. From her, it's all right. I don't want you calling me Daddy Darkharbor.
That makes me less.
And yes, I know you can disguise yourself. I taught you that.
Okay, all right. Well, listen. Is there like a key to this thing? How do we get you out of here?
It's a jail cell, Jerik. Of course there's a key somewhere.
I try the key.
Get me out.
I try the key that I have.
Oh, I know that there's a lot of stakes riding on this, but this is the best day of my life.
Oh, you're a sweetie.
You try the key that you have, and it does not work.
Uh-oh.
Well, is it working?
It's not this key. Listen, well, I'd look around to see if there's any like keys hanging up or levers, things that operate clocks.
Jerik.
What?
Didn't I teach you how to, I don't know, pick a lock?
You know what? You're the one in the jail cell, so just it'd be easier if we could just find a key.
Derek, that's no way to speak to your father.
Thank you, darling.
Jerik, roll for shame. Now,
Do you think there's a chance that the guard has the key?
The one that just went to the top level. Yeah, that seems legitimate. I do have my thieves' schools. I'm going to try to pick the lock while everybody else looks around to see if they see any keys.
all right. Make a. They don't see a key. You mentioned a lever. There is a lever on the wall near the door.
Does it look like it's in any way connected to the locks?
It's a rusted green lever that's on the wall.
Oh, great.
You can make an intelligence check.
I'll ask Arik, do you know, what does that lever do over there? Is that anything?
I'm on the inside of the
You've
cell.
been here,
Jerik.
right? You've been here for like days. Have you ever seen anybody move?
I've been on this side of the
All right.
cell. I wasn't conscious when they brought me
All right.
in.
What
Is that Wilma and Cookie out there? Maybe they can help.
Hiya, boss. I was wondering when we was gonna be able to say hello.
Well, hello. And could you help the boy get me out of here?
Yeah. Maybe I could give it a try.
Be my guest. Or not. Maybe he can stay in there.
Can Wilma do just a basic
Maybe the frog can pick the lock.
You know what?
Can I ask you something?
Me?
Did you notice that guard using a key at any point?
No. But then I wasn't paying attention to the guard as they beat me and tortured me and threw me in the corner.
Oh, there he goes with the guilt.
Jared, he's had a tough time.
Would you like a piece of bread, boss? I have snacks.
That's okay. I'm sorry, Jerik. I'm a bit out of sorts for being imprisoned for a long time.
Oh, like my whole childhood. Listen, I'm going to try to...
It was, it was only 2 days. By the way,
I'm going to try to pick the lock with my thieves' tools.
all right, make a sleight of hand check.
It was a very long 2 days.
Wilma at the same time is gonna
It was nights
What are you
too.
going to do, Wilma?
give him some bread. Some food.
Okay,
He's
Wilma lowers.
cranky.
You see Wilma lower down a little bit of bread.
So this is like giving me a Snickers, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's real good bread. It's like homemade.
Boss,
Thank you,
you're
Wilma.
cranky when you're hungry.
That's true.
What's
Well,
the name
that's
of the
good.
bread that you? What's the name of this particular loaf that you make?
It's boop.
It's like a boop.
B-O-P.
boop bread.
Boop.
Ah, it's Boop. Great. I love Boop.
I know.
One bite of boop will last you for 8 hours.
Yes, hard to get the taste out of your mouth, but
Yeah.
I rolled a 9 with my thieves' tools check while everybody's talking about bread.
Okay. The bread is really distracting, and
well,
you're like,
I understand he might be under a little pressure.
I can't pick this lock in the yeast. I mean, the least. And you're just like, one of your thieves' tools just bends a little bit. I just can't quite get this. Yeah, it's not quite working.
I'm gonna go over and pull the lever.
Is this going to be like the creme brulee again?
Oh my gosh, with that.
You pull the lever, and all of the doors on top of the cells lift up. At that, you also hear, "What was that?" And then the hobgoblin guard, sort of soldier person, leaps down through the hole on top. And a sort of 3-point landing, and stands up and he says,
Well, you guys weren't here before.
Surprise!
I need you all to roll initiative.
Yay!